I'm upgrading the computer. The old computer runs off of Windows 7, which is, it's okay. Don't get me wrong, it works well. I wanted to upgrade this. I can use Fusion 360 and I can run their cam software, so I don't have to use sheet cam. I can just go straight from Fusion 360 straight to plasma cutting. And the computer that I have at shop won't handle it because I can't update it to Windows 11. Probably could, but the graphics on the computer, it will not run Fusion 360. So we're building another computer, and what I'm going to do with it, and I'm going to show you the components here in just a second. I have got a micro ITX board and just a basic graphics card, which I'm hoping to run it. If it don't, we'll send that sucker back and we'll get something that will run Fusion 360, because that's the whole purpose of this. I needed something that had a little bit more power. Anyway, let me turn you around here and I will show you what we're going to be running, and I'm actually going to try to go through this build process with this one. It's not going to be a, all the way through live thing. There's definitely going to be cuts in this because I screw up a lot, and y'all don't want to see that, but I will keep you updated on what my screw ups are and what I did to fix it, if it works. Anyway, here, let's take a look at what we got. Alright, so the first thing that we've got is, this is the board I chose, and there is a really specific reason why I chose this. One is because it was on sale on Amazon, and it was really inexpensive. The other thing is it does accept my chipset that I'm running, which is, that's great. But it's tiny, it's small. This, this board here should fit inside the enclosure that I want to do without it being massive. So that should work well. The price was right. At the time of filming this, I think I paid like 90 bucks for this thing. So yeah, that's what we're going to be using there. We're going to be running, I'm not going crazy with RAM, but this is a DDR4 board, so we're going to be running just 16 gigabytes of RAM. So that should work well. Here's the graphics card that I'm going to run. I mean, I know there's more powerful stuff, but the big thing was size. It's of course it's NVIDIA GeForce 1030. This should run my Fusion 360 well. I think this has 4 gigs of RAM, which Fusion only needs like 2 gigs. This is a refurbished product, so it was pretty inexpensive. So we're going to give this a shot, and this should be pretty low profile and fit inside this ITX build really well. The processor, again, is my one that I had out of the other computer. This is the 3600. So this does not have integrated graphics, so we have to run a graphics card with it. This does have a cooler fan and stuff with it, the one that came with this originally, but I have opted for an ID cooling, really low profile fan that we're going to try on here. I have a bunch of fans that I'm going to put inside our computer control case to help all that work out well too. And this is the power supply that I chose. And I chose it for the pure simple reason that it's supposed to be a fully modular power supply. So we'll see, but it should fit inside my build case. It's a little bit smaller. This is a 400 watt unit. The research that I did, I think everything that I have here is saying that will be at 240 watts. So this should be enough power, what we want to do. Running a 1 terabyte M.2 drive, or memory, or whatever you want to call it. And this is the other thing that I got, and I haven't even opened this yet, so this should be pretty interesting. This should plug right into the pins on our board, and of course we'll run the wires in through the back side, but it has microphone and headphone jacks that I can plug into, and like I said, I can mount this anywhere, remotely really. It has 2 USB ports, which are great because I can just plug in whatever I need to plug in, and there's our power button with the reset. I think it's just a hold down reset. It's got a QR code there. We can scan it and see what it says, but it does have a little sticker so you can actually stick it somewhere when you get done. But yeah, I think this is going to work really well for what I'm wanting to do. Now we're building all this, like I said, so we can run Fusion 360 and so we can run this. This is OpenBuild's black box system. I was going to run an Arduino with the custom software and that kind of stuff, and I have decided instead of going through that whole route, because I'm running dual Y-axis motors and the stuff that I purchased online, the kit, the people don't want to support it because I'm doing a custom build. I'm not doing their planned build. Everything is included in this, and I say that loosely, but I do not have to have stepper motors and all with this. This will run the drive motors, everything wires in here, limit switches wiring here. It's got your Y2 and Z axis, so it'll control all those. This controller will actually control lasers. It will control, I'm doing a poor job at trying to advertise this thing, but it'll control lasers, it'll control CNC router. This thing will control just about anything that you want to hook to it. So we went ahead and dropped a little bit extra and got this. So hopefully it works out really well. We're going to find out for sure. But anyway, let's get to unboxing the rest of this stuff and let's see if we can get some things put together. So let's check this out first. Like I said, I haven't even opened this up, and I know what I read online, but you know how that goes. A lot of what you read may not be exactly what you get. So let's see. We're going to have to go a different route with a power supply. Okay, that's promising so far. All the cables, yeah. So it is modular. It is fully modular, so that's great. So we don't have a bunch of extra cables we don't need. Yeah, it's a SFX platform, 400 watt, which you can see that right there. There's the power on and off. So yeah, this should pretty much take care of everything that we want to do, because I mean, all I need are these two here, and actually I think that's it. That's all I need out of this power supply, because my graphics card actually powers off the board because it's not that big. So, but even if I needed it, there would be another power supply for that. So yeah, awesome. I think this is going to work out well. So next, here's the graphics card. Go ahead and pull this out. Let's look at it. Not that there's a whole lot to look at, but it was packaged up better than this. I did look at it earlier, full disclosure. But yeah, there's no power plug on this, so this will just plug directly into our PCIe slots on the motherboard and power up from there. Just 2 monitor outputs, which I don't need any more than that. Not for what we're doing there. And a massive board. This thing is just huge. Not really, but so, you know, I got to get the rest of the stuff out of the box, but we're going to build it on top of the box. Here, let me put this down in the glass. But our 1 terabyte M.2 going here. Of course, the board plugs in here. Our wires for our switch that'll go on the desk plug in here. I'll probably have to change some of the bracketry here in just a second for the fan, so we'll look over that and see what we got to do there. I don't remember if this one actually had the shield panel in the box. It's supposed to. I hope it does. This board does support Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so we're good there. And we also have some microphone and headphone jacks and stuff back here. So this should fit nicely inside of our enclosure. Hopefully we'll stick our RAM on here. We'll double check, make sure our fan's going to clear the RAM. I did try to get some RAM that I think will be a little bit lower profile. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is see what we got now as far as fan goes. What brackets we need to use, because there's brackets. We are running the AM4 and 5, so this is the setup that we're going to use here. So it gives us numbers, and we refer back to our list over here, and it tells us which items we're going to use. So let me get all that laid out and we'll get it installed on the board. Okay, as noted, I do not have the chip in here yet, but we're just going to set the RAM up here on the board. I'm not going to lock it down yet. I don't want to keep taking it in and out. Make sure we get it in the slots. I want to make sure that my cooler is going to clear. So if I've got this up and no chip in there, and it sets down and clears, it clears the RAM, then I know we're good, because this is going to go up, that's going to go down. So we still got the tape on it, nothing on here to interfere with any of that. So the cooler should fit. I think we can go either way. It should fit there. Awesome. It definitely have clearance. So it can either go that way or this way. And if it were to try to go this way, it would clear that way also. So, and we should be good either way. So that's one obstacle overcome. So now we can get the brackets on. Okay, so we've got our plugs wired up. Double checked all that. The wiring probably end up zip tying it to the fan motor or something. But next thing I'm going to do is install our M.2 here, and then we'll install the RAM, and then we'll install the CPU, and then we'll install the fan. And hopefully we're ready to power this thing up. Okay, the ID Cool fan comes with thermal paste, but actually I purchased some Noctura. We're going to give this a try. I don't have anything against the ID Cool stuff. I didn't know it came in it, so I bought some more just in case. GPU, like I said, it's a baby when compared to today's standards, but just slips right in here. Make sure we get it seated all the way in, and everything's clipped in place, so that's connected. Now we hook up the power supply. Alright, here comes our moment of truth. Got everything wired up. We're going to power this thing on and see what happens. If it posts like it's supposed to, then I'm going to cycle it back off, and we're going to go ahead and install Windows on it, and then I'm going to install Fusion on it and make sure that this graphics card will do what we want to do. That was 75% of the reason for building this. So let's give it a try. Power supply's on, and power supply's spinning up. The fan for the GPU spinning up. The fan on the processor's spooling up. Now we just got to wait and see if we get a post. Hey, here we go. We got a post. We're going to go in, do our setup in our BIOS, and install Windows. So that's great. Also, I've never used a gigabyte board, so this is interesting. Then the MSI one, so we'll see here. Hopefully it'll boot straight into the BIOS since there's nothing on it. I don't know. Let's see, we may have to hit 12. Reboot and select proper BIOS or insert boot, press any key. So let's reboot it and do 12, I think is what we need for this. want to enter setup. There we go. CPU fan it has running. I don't have anything else. So let's see here. XMP is disabled. We want to enable it. Tweaker frequency. I don't know where to go to change my settings maybe. Make sure when you're going through and you're installing, either you read everything, because there's stuff in here that I did want to install that wasn't checked, and there's things that I don't want to install that was checked. Of course, it automatically tries to throw Norton antivirus on there for security, and I do not like using that at all. And then I'm not sure what CFOS speed utility is. I'm not worried about using that either. So, but we're going to install the rest of the drivers, and everything else is looking promising. We'll get Google Chrome installed after this installs its stuff and re-updates, and then we will do the Fusion 360 install and see how it runs on this graphics card. Okay, so after a few challenges on getting Fusion to load or install and sign in, that was my problem, was getting it signed in. I had to uninstall it. I think what the problem was I tried to install Fusion at the same time that everything was booting up on the board and it was installing new stuff. So anyhow, we've got that to work. It does sign in. It seems like everything is working like I wanted it to. I think this little MSI graphics card is going to work. I have not seen any errors on the screen. Okay, so it's up and running. That's working like it should. At least the Fusion 360 stuff is. So that'll be the conclusion of the actual build and setup of the computer board. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the build, feel free to drop me a line. I'll do the best I can to answer any questions that you may have. I may throw this thing through a test or two and see how it does, but I'm not too worried about it. It's doing what I need it to do, and that's all I care about. And Wi-Fi and all that stuff works well. So I think it's going to do well. So let's get the rest of the software installed, and yeah, y'all have a great day. Like I said, if you got any questions, hit me up, and I'll do the best I can to answer. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching.